Okay, hopefully we can hear me right now. Okay, so we're going to be sight reading a recipe today. I can't see you yet. So let me kitchen. Oh, voice commands are working today. Let's go. Fantastic. Great. That's great. Okay. So today is the last day of the subathon. We obviously didn't make any goals, but thank you for the people who subbed. We had 2 subs, 500 bits from Pixel. I think I need to get another. Oh no, the lighting in the kitchen is not the greatest. These edges were nicer. Oh well. Or, yeah, should we leverage these doors? Maybe? God, so bright. Okay. Sure. We need something to drink too. All right. So today's the last day of the subathon. We did not really make any of the goals, but I thought it'd be cute to wear something cute. So we're wearing something cute today. This is the first time making corned beef hash. I've had it before. I have an ex that makes corned beef hash like all the time when go to the club and then, people are hungry the next day. So he would always make corned beef hash. That was like one of his like go-to things he did. So I am a consumer of corned beef hash, but I can't say that I've ever made it. And so we're making corned beef. We're making corned beef hash. Oh my god. Because we plan on making a pizza tomorrow. Using the corned beef hash. I'm gonna wash up this ginormous potato. But yeah, in the meantime, I kind of need to eat something. So we have some miso soup that I made the other day. I'm pretty sure I made this off stream. But this is what we're going to be eating. It's got seaweed. There's some green onion in there. I made this off stream because I was just wanting soup. So, And I think later, like sooner than later this week, we're going to be making bunbo. It's not Filipino. But I'm craving pork blood, so that must mean I'm iron deficient or something. But we're doing a very abbreviated version. because it is just for me. So I got a pound of pork blood, but we're gonna see if we maybe get tendon or some cabbage tomorrow. I don't know. I was really focused on the pork blood, so. So when I get cravings for pork blood, usually it's usually defaults to bunbo way, but if not, then like sometimes there's like Chinese hot pots that have pork blood in it. Like Chinese single serve hot pots. Like there's just called something 5 a.m. And I don't know if that's just like a clever, cute thing that they did for that particular restaurant, or if it's like a culturally blah 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 at 5 a.m. like it's a dish, like a culturally important dish, you know? And I was like, oh. So for the homies that are halal, I'm sorry. Tomorrow or whenever we make the bunbo wave might not be your type of day. You know, pork blood. So I figure pork blood is like a no-no. So also not everyone's I call it blood pudding. Some people call it like blood cake. I typically call it blood pudding. Some people call it it's not blood sausage because like it's not like sundae. Switching countries. There are very few Korean foods I could get into. Sundae was one of them, although I can probably handle sundae. It's just like not a preference, you know. But like the larvae, like the street food larvae, couldn't get into it. It was a little hard for me. You know, but that's fine. All right. Let me just take a gander. Again, we're sight reading today because I plan on making a pizza with this. So olive oil. Oh wait, that's the pizza. Sorry. 1 big ass potato peeled and diced. I'm not gonna peel it because I don't peel my potatoes. 1 onion peeled and chopped. Belch. Thank you. I don't know why we're working today. The other day y'all didn't like me. Garlic. 11 ounces. I think that's like a big ass can. I think it's way more than 11 ounces. Check this. Oh, okay. It's 15. Still more, but not. I thought it was like a 20-ounce can. This is 15 ounces or 425 grams. We got this at the Filipino store, which today had a fire inside of it. I smelled the gas from outside. I was like, why do I smell the gas? Like stove gas. I was like, what the fuck? And we tried to go inside, people were coming out, and I was like, oh, well, if people are coming out, that must mean there's a problem. And my mom still kept on trying to walk in. I was like, first of all, we smelled gas outside that we should have been smelling. And then when we get to the entrance, a bunch of people are coming out at the same time. Like, can we use some context clues? She doesn't have it. She doesn't know context clues or like pattern recognition, and it's like it's terrible. So okay, so garlic, onion, potato, sweet. Salt and pepper to taste. Water, but we can always lessen the water if we want to make it soupy. Let me see something about the pizza recipe though. Does it want it to be wet? probably doesn't want to be super wet because then it'll make the bread weird. Belch. Belch? Thank you. All right. So let's get started. I'm just gonna put my dishes in the sink. We already have like dishes from yesterday when I made that fucking miso. And then we'll keep the. Sorry, we're slightly at a Dutch angle. Let me just do that. Keep the compost bag open. For like tidbits from the garlic and the onions. Nose, stop. Okay. But yeah, I thought it'd be cute to be cute. It's the last day of the subathon. We didn't make the goals or whatever, but I didn't really push it because sorry, I know that was loud. Because I don't know. I just feel like my vibe isn't like very gamify my stream. I could gamify my stream, but at the end of the day, I know why the fuck isn't she paying attention? I know that like the gamify my stream vibe isn't super me. So I just have to figure out something that works for me so I can survive capitalism and like you all still want to hang out here. You know? But again, very lurker friendly. If you don't want to be perceived, don't be perceived. You're okay. You don't need to say anything. I'm just gonna not this one. Maybe. This one seems appropriate for today. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe we need the copper pot. It always seems to default to the copper pot because like it has taller walls. I really like the copper pot though, sweet. It's fine. So we won't heat up the pot just yet. I'm gonna redo this. And we will do that. We'll see if this stream ends up being a shorter stream. I doubt it. But just in case, because we are just doing this one thing versus this and making the pizza in the same day. I plan on making the pizza sometime tomorrow because the dough needs like 3 hours and I'm hoping not to be in here for forever, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see. So just move these cables kind of in a way that doesn't make me upset. And that doesn't get in the way of other stuff. Oh my god. Also, my okay. Move these cables to back. Here. No. No. Garlic is always a suggestion. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that. That looks good. At least 5. Maybe more. let's start with the garlic, and then we'll do the onions because the onions will probably snipe my eyeballs. Now I do have some canned potatoes that we might also want to use with this, but I think I just want to try this with like non-canned potatoes because I feel like the potatoes in the can are a little too mushy already. Peeled, minced, peeled, chopped. At the same time, potatoes first, then onions and garlic. Okay, so onions and garlic can go together in the same container. That's all I really needed to know. All right. Then we'll do the onion first. Oh, you know what? I'm going to just use the machete, so I might as well just get it. So a little bit later it might get loud because I use this for the garlic. Okay, let me move y'all a little closer. If we want to do a fit check, I have shoes for that, so just like let me know. All right, where's the cute little mandolin we were using? Where do we stand off? It felt like the dough was stuck on something. Okay. Let me get like a tiny cup of water. In hopes that my eyes do not get sniped. Okay. But we'll see. First of all, we're going to cut these ends off. Looks like we've got some not great action going on under the skin. We're going to rinse that off. Yeah, and you're leaking. Not a great sign. But we're very waste not, want not. I'm going to make this work. So. Let me just kind of rinse this guy off. Oh, sorry. My shoes out of the way. So I sometimes do things that other people might not agree with, like using an onion that is leaky and looks like it's got some I don't know. Is this black stuff considered mold or something? I mean, it smells a little funny. But it doesn't, like, it's not squishy like it turned. So, you know what I mean? So to each their own. If that makes you uncomfortable, don't use produce like that. But I am a very big waste not, want not type of person. And if anything, just take off the outermost, most affected parts. Right? So I'll go ahead and take off the outermost skin or layer. We'll just skip that one. But everything else is good. I do see there might be a little bit of sus going on this end. So, now we're going to use this mandolin and move this knife in a way where I don't feel like it's going to fall. When I get closer to the end, I want to be careful because this is already kind of a lot of force that we're using. So why are we stuck? Why are we stuck? Why are we stuck? That's weird. Why are we stuck? Why are we stuck? Why are we stuck? Okay. That's weird. I shouldn't have to twist you. Also, that's not. Oh my god, my eyes are getting sniped. Okay, eyes are getting sniped. What the f? Hopefully this towel will help. Slightly damp. Oh my god. So many eyelashes. Okay. Try this again. Please don't snip my eyes. Okay, I'm not. My eyes are irritated. Okay. We're gonna get through this because it's not that much onion. So I just want to at least have one onion. I don't know how it is where y'all are at, but produce in general has been kind of like not great. Good onions and avocados are, well, I mean, I guess it's hard to get avocados in general, but just it's been feeling like it's been pretty difficult for a while. Before all the fucked up ice shit, you know. And I'm not trying to slice my thumb, so dude, what is the problem right now? There. Oh, you wanted it that way? We can do it that way. I don't care. just don't want to slice myself. See, we're getting closer to the danger zone. There we go. Bam. Now this next part's going to be noisy. These are still kind of stinging from the onions, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. But yeah. My mom showed me a recipe for escabeche, and I was like, I don't know when she wants this, so... So I don't know, maybe this week? We'll see. I went to the Asian grocery store today. That's where I got that pork blood. But the pork blood is just for me. It's not for anybody else in this house because I already know they're going to be like, ew, whatever. And I'm like, please stop acting like Americans that want to pretend that they're cultured, but they're not. Like, I don't need that from you. So, especially if I'm the one cooking. So, I'm tired of people who immediately say yuck. It's like, you didn't even try anything. What are you doing? You know how many people have said, ew, gross, yuck, to like the food that I eat, and then later on when it's popular, you see people online being like, oh my god, I just discovered this shit. Like, bitch, get the fuck out of my asshole. Stop pretending like you're cultured when all you can do is, like, be influenced by TikTok. Yeah, maybe I could do that. I was thinking about maybe going to a Indian like sweets or bakery, because I don't think I'm going to make jalebi, but I want to try some. So honestly don't care if there's skin in here. Okay. I think it's time to fuck around with that potato. Alright. So we're gonna wash this potato. I'm gonna add some vinegar, because we usually wash our produce with vinegar and water. So it's in some water. We're gonna put some vinegar in here. And I'm gonna scrub it with a little scrubby. So this scrubby does not touch my face. This scrubby only touches produce. Okay. And it lives here in the kitchen. Over here. So there we go. I scrub the potato. In this case, it's a potato or whatever, produce I'm gonna scrub. I haven't seen a potato this big in a really long time, so like I don't know if I'm eating a bunch of hormones or whatever, steroids, whatever the fuck is in this fucking potato. Hopefully not. Who knows though? I'm gonna do a couple scrubs around. Now, I know other people eat corned beef hash. This is just, I'm following a Filipino recipe for it, okay? So don't I'm just following a Filipino way of preparing it, all right? Because it's Filipino American History Month. So, we're gonna, we're gonna try it out. We might eat some of it with our kuning rice that we made the other day. Corned beef should be okay. It's beef, right? So, yeah, I think that's good. Okay, so I'm gonna rinse out my little scrubby. So this is like a loofah, like the actual like gourd. And you can like get that at some grocery stores and you just cut it up. I'm gonna dump out the water in the gray water bucket real quick. I'm gonna rinse this bucket or this bowl out a little. And we're gonna chop this up. Again, I'm not really big on peeling potatoes. I'm sure that's fine. It said like cubes, so maybe like this. Yeah, that's good. And then that seems about the right size in my head. So okay. going to knock into you. And after this, we can start cooking. Just go ahead and start heating the pan. So I heat the pan first, then the oil. I wish you didn't put water in here. That's why it fucking had calcification like a motherfucker. We're just cubing up this. The pan is heating up. I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in there. Have the oil heat up. This one's not gonna be okay. That's not that's not gonna be as even. That's fine. But yeah. Thanks to everyone who hung out during the very low key subathon. I appreciate it. And the reason why we had it end today is my half birthday. So like your birthday happens once a year. So like this is the halfway mark to my birthday. So in 6 months it's gonna be my birthday. So I wanted to do my subathon not during September, but like up to the halfway to my birthday mark. Because I was trying to get my I was trying to get my affiliate thing to happen on October 27th, but I think it happened on September 27th. So I think technically it's on the September 27th. So September 27th to October 27th is, you know, when I would prefer to do subathons outside of, you know, Christmas, my birthday, and Valentine's Day, you know. Bro, like, okay. Almost done with the potato. Feels very grainy. Kind of like, ugh. But it said it was a Yukon. I guess it wasn't like the other yellow potatoes I'm used to. I'm used to the waxy ones, or maybe I'm just not used to, like, you know, the inside of it. I just don't remember them feeling this grainy. So, ugh. Yeah, potatoes are gonna go first. But, you know, just want to make sure. I wanted to cut up the onions and the garlic before that. Yeah, not straight, but that's fine. Yeah, maybe like that. Yay! So the potatoes might sound frightening because potatoes are moist and oil and water are not friends. In case you did not know, they're not friends. They can't be friends. All right, let's less Dutch angle you. Okay, I'm gonna raise you just a little bit. We'll just, there we go. And then we're gonna turn the light this way. There we go, that's better. All right, I'm gonna check my notes because I'm pretty sure it's potatoes and then the onions and garlic, and the other stuff. All right, let me just put this and put this maybe like here. There. All right, this might sound frightening. Sure to spread this oil around. It's viscous enough for me, but it's just not all over the pan. Please don't hurt me. God, I'm scared. Hold on. I'm gonna wear gloves. Please don't hurt me. Please don't hurt me. Okay, less frightening. Oh, I thought I saw color pink or something. Okay, no. All right, so maybe I'll use the red spatula thing. So it wants me to brown these. Please do not tell me that was not enough oil. I'll add more, but come on, man. Okay, I'm gonna try to single layer this. All right, I'm gonna open up this can of corned beef. Ooh, that's a nice sizzle. I don't know if you hear it because I forget how many filters we have on things. Let me just open up this can of corned beef. Ooh, that's a layer of fat. Ooh, you smell good though. This shit smells real good. Okay, I need something to drink. I need something to drink. Wait, I have like, okay. Let's try this calamansi fruit soda. So we have some calamansi fruit soda. Thank goodness we don't have a green screen today. So that would have been really awkward. Let me just also wipe this off. I didn't chill it. I don't usually chill my soda. Ooh, that's tasty, but I like calamansi. So calamansi to me is like a cross between a lemon lime and a citrus. Kind of leaning more citrusy though. If we have to go by like how it tastes or whatever. Let's have that like keep going. I guess I can do some dishes while this is working. I hope you can hear that sizzle. It's quite nice. It's peaceful. So. Belch. Belch. Thank you. Thanks, Saribot. Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna dump this water into the gray water bucket. Oh, it really bit me. Okay. So I'm just washing some dishes off to the side while you supervise the stove for me. Thank you very much for doing that. I appreciate it. You could just keep an eye on that. Let me know when it's turning brown or whatever. I don't think it's gonna turn brown anytime soon. I don't think it's gonna tan anytime soon, so like don't worry about it. I'm sure it's gonna take a while or whatever. Yeah, there's only like 3 more things, and then we'll give it a stir, kind of see where we are. Belch. Belch. Thank you. Okay, I think we need more oil. We're getting stuck. So. Any more like drops? Not really. Okay, let's try Why does this feel like this is not the right lid for this? I think she fried fish in here. That's fine. I don't give a fuck. I feel like this is going to take a while to brown. That's fine. I don't particularly care how long it'll take to brown. I just want it to brown, you know? So. I don't know if I'm supposed to skim off some of this fat off of the corned beef or if that's like, let me see how deep this layer of, oh man, that's a lot. Okay. I feel like I should. All right, so I'm going to take off some of this fat off the top because I just feel like it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot. Also, it feels like it's like sticking to the meat, so maybe I have to skim it later. That seems silly though. So it's just a lot. Okay. There's some of it. Guess I'll have to like kind of work it out later. We're not really browning. So I'm kind of tempted to add some of the fat that's in this because it's gonna get in the pot anyway. just go ahead and get in there, so help this cook. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit more. Yeah, because it said for that to brown and then add the onions and the garlic. Belch. I don't even see like a light tan. I feel like some of them have a little bit of color, but like not really. I should have paid attention when my ex was making this. I just never figured I would ever make it. I'm making this more out of curiosity. So. And the pizza. But now I'm like, maybe if I just started the dough at 8 p.m. Because, like, who knows how long this is going to take. Then it, you know, because, like, the dough needed 3 hours to rise. But anyway, we can just use this as, like, a multi-purpose thing. We'll eat some tonight. We'll save some for breakfast. We'll make some with the pizza. It'll, you know, be a versatile thing we make today. Because we need eggs for this pizza too. I'm just looking at what we have in the fridge. That's mine. Have some leftover tea. So we're gonna make a very abbreviated version of bundole of BBH when we get around to it, but it's still gonna have bean sprouts, which some of us are not into. Don't tell Spaceball. It has the bean sprouts. It's gonna have mint. It's gonna have. I'm gonna put Thai basil with mine. I made a vegan shrimp paste, so either we'll use my vegan shrimp paste that I made, or we will use the one that Mom doesn't like that I got. That she like fried out, so like the texture is kind of weird now. Yeah. She needs to stop putting short bottles behind tall bottles. Fucking. Why are we doing this? Also, I want to eat kimchi, but I feel like maybe today's not a good day. Not because I'm wearing white, but now I thought about it, but like my stomach was being weird earlier. But I also opened the morning eating fried chicken. So, you know, we made some decisions. We made decisions today. Because we were... Dude, what the fuck? The bottom of the pan is getting more color than these potatoes. Dude, what are we doing here? Okay. Confusion. Okay, I'm gonna add more oil. What the fuck? And then we're gonna add the garlic and the onions, and then we're gonna add this corned beef. Because you're like hissing and fussing, but we're not tanning. Why are we not tanning, you guys? Need you to please cooperate. There's already gonna be so much more fat in here. In like not that long from now. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and add the garlic and onions because it's very ridiculous how these are not turning tan. Okay, I want to get as much garlic into the pot as possible. Okay. There we go. Oh, you smell so good. I Love the smell of garlic. Alright. Everybody cooperate, please. That would be great. Look at you incorporating and being one and stuff. There's like a really sad song playing in my head right now, but I don't exactly know the words for it. And I'm like, oh my god. It's a great song, by the way. It's a fantastic song. It is a great karaoke / KTV, whatever you do song. It's a great KTV song, for sure. Because it's Chinese. Oh. Everything smells delicious. And water? I don't know if I'm adding water to this. We'll see how I feel if we want to add water. I don't really feel like adding water. It said half a cup of water, but you know. So it wants the onions to be softened. We're probably getting close-ish, sort of. They're already looking a little translucent-y. But I like my onions really translucent. So I feel like most people would stop around here because this would be kind of softened already. I want my shit translucent. Really, 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 really fucking translucent. So that's just how I like my onions, you know, like regardless of belch. What we're doing? Belch. Thank you. But like, yeah, when it's asking, I typically want them very translucent. Because this is not soft enough for me. Like, it still feels like it's, I don't know, got some resistance or something. Like it can stand up against you and stuff. So, but yeah. Okay. Okay. So what temp are we at right now? We're like at medium-ish. All right. So as I said, there's like a lot of fat, right? And I just didn't know how I feel about that. Since we're having some issues with, you know, some of the stuff, we'll just put everything in here. Oh, there's liquid in here. Do I need to add water? I don't really think so. So let's just get as much of everything as we can out of the can. I might just have to like
deal with it later, you know, like after we refrigerate it and stuff and like skim the fat off of that. Oh my god, please don't attack me with hot ass oil or something. So usually we would definitely skim off all of this fat first. But you know what? We're not going to do that. I already took off some of it. Didn't look like it, but I did. But some of the meat was like sticking. So I didn't want to I wanted to have as much meat out of this can as possible. So, you know. All right. Again, never made this before, so I'm going to put this in the... Well, we won't put this in the sink yet because it does have quite a bit of fat on it still. Bring it to a boil. All right. If that's what you want me to do. Okay. We'll see if we need to really add any liquid since there was liquid in the can. Since there was jus in here, or whatever the fuck, since it's meat juice, I'm assuming that was like in this can. I want to break up the meat without squishing the potatoes. Combine everybody. So guisado apparently is stew. I'm not sure what ginising is though. So for the corned beef pizza, they refer to this when it says, you know, you need to make corned beef guisado, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so I don't know if guisado and ginising are like similar, different words for the same thing. Because when I tried to translate ginising, like Google Translate was like ginising, and I was like, bitch, no. No, So, but guisado is stew. So, I'm guessing that's why it's like, hey, add some water. And just, some of this meat is still kind of stuck together. You know. Let me get a little bit of water. Just like, oh yeah. This was the water I had in hopes that my eyes wouldn't get sniped by the onions, but they still got sniped. Okay, I think that's good. I don't want to add too much because like there was already, you know, liquid in the can. Hoping this will help break up the stuff on the bottom, but I don't think that's going to work. So, pretty sure the fond will not come along in this. But we're looking nice. Okay. Now what? Cover. Oh, I need to bring it to a boil, then cover lower heat 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, I need you to like boil. I need you to boil like you mean it. Then we can do more dishes. Maybe snack on some kimchi. Sounds like a good idea. I want to eat some kimchi. To me, that's not really a boil. That's like, you know, that looks like a simmer to me. Here's some garlic that I didn't quite make it earlier. This looks like it fell down. But yeah, just boil to me usually is more aggressive than this. This feels like a simmer. I needed to boil. Then we'll press on. I need to be careful with taking the fat off of this can because sharp edges. So I'm very carefully trying to take off the excess fat, oil, whatever I'm supposed to really consider this from this corned beef can. Oh my god. Oh, because I really don't want to accidentally cut myself because that would be so bad. So I'm just taking some tissues that were kind of hanging around very carefully. Oh, there we go. As much oil and fat that we can off of the edges of these cans without hurting myself. Okay, cool. All right, I'm just gonna go over the lid very carefully. Do my best to take as much of the fat, oil stuff off without hurting myself. That's the main thing. We want to be thorough, but we also do not want to hurt ourselves. Okay. Awesome. And my body count has a 2 out of 3 streak. Lamau. Okay. I don't really feel like you're a boil though. Can you like get more aggressive, please? So we could cover and simmer you. Belch. It's too bad that number isn't accurate. Because I know it's more than that, but whatever. It's just, you know, when I don't have the bot on, it's not going to count, you know? It'd be nice if I was smart enough to figure out how to have my own cloud storage solution. Yeah, but we're not that smart yet. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to figure out stuff like that for me, you know? Because if like other companies rent out or lease from AWS for their cloud services, like I'm pretty sure I would as my own person, probably cannot afford to host or offer cloud services. So, because I would want cloud services for people. Okay, I feel like maybe now you're boiling. Okay, so cover, lower the heat, let it simmer for like 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll do 5 minutes and then check the potatoes. Yeah, and then we can do more dishes. Okay, so the lighting's fine. Let's see. We'll do the mandolin. So anytime you clean something sharp, just be careful. You don't want to hurt yourself, okay? Going slow is fine. Also, don't soak your knives because if they're just soaking in a pile of dishes, you or somebody else could hurt themselves. And also, the fuck? And also, I'm pretty sure if you soak a knife, you could potentially fuck up the handle if it's like a nice wooden handle or something. Because, like, wooden utensils, you gotta be careful with the handle or whatever. So, again, we're gonna be really careful. Just trying to make sure there's, yes, and there's stuff stuck on this because we were smushing the garlic. That's like the Martin Yan can cook style mincing. I'm not really good at it, but I feel like I'm getting better. So I honestly and truly feel like I'm getting better at that. Yeah. There, preferably closer in, so I don't feel like I'm gonna have that drop. So for this, I'd rather use a bottle brush, so I feel safer. But so for recyclables, you know, you gotta clean them first. Ooh, it's smelling so good. Oh, it's smelling like super good. Still feeling a little greasy over here. I'm just gonna very carefully because I seriously don't want to hurt myself. Cool. For this, we're gonna be super careful. It's really good. go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's check those potatoes. Let's check those potatoes. Perfect. Fantastic. Get a blow. Ugh. Bless. Belch. Belch. Thank you. So it says, you know, to check if the potatoes are done. So let me just get a fork and check. Still a little firm. Yeah. Still feel a little firm, so maybe another 5. Oh. Let's see. Yeah, man. If I started the dough at 8, we could have done the pizza tonight. I just don't feel like it, no. So hour and a half? Okay, so it takes an hour and a half to like get where we need to go with this. Good to know. Okay. Hour and a half. It's just me rinsing out my soda can. We'll have corned beef for tomorrow. Maybe if I start the pizza after lunch tomorrow, that'll be good. I could retoast my turon. So we got some turon at the grocery store. Not Seafood City because they had a fire. But we got some turon. So I think I'm gonna toast it up. Not in this paper. Because you know that might be a hazard. Okay. So I'm just putting it in the toaster for a low setting in hopes that it'll like crisp it up. You know what I mean? So we'll have a little turon to snack on. I'm just cleaning the cutting board now. But yeah. So if you ever have like sussy looking produce, like take a sniff. If it doesn't smell suspicious, you know, use your better judgment. If it still makes you feel uncomfortable, then don't. But if it doesn't make you uncomfortable, then use it. You know. So that's what I do with my onions because some of them will have like that black stuff like under a layer or whatever. And it might be also leaky like that one was. Like it was like a little milky leaky. So, you know, cut off the weird kind of not great looking parts and do a sniff test, you know. And then kind of go from there, right? Ultimately, it's up to you what you're comfortable with. If you're not comfortable with something, then don't, right? Don't do things you're not comfortable with. If it's well within your power to say no, always say no. There are some situations, like familial bullshit, where you might not be able to say no to stuff. But when you can say no to something that's making you uncomfortable, ooh, you're squishy. Let's go. This is a different fork, by the way. This is not the fork from before. Okay, we'll test this one. Okay, I don't think it needs salt. I think it might need pepper. Yeah, we don't need salt. I'm tasting something. Where's my pepper? Oh, okay. We'll add some pepper. I like a lot of fresh cracked pepper. Okay. All right. Yeah, this looks good. I don't think the fond is gonna come with us off the pan necessarily. It's too bad, but you know, looks like most of it off the center is coming off the pan, so that's reassuring. But yeah, we can probably turn this off if you're done. Then we'll get a cute bowl for a picture. I'm gonna put some of my cooning rice on the bottom. Won't be seen in the picture. Now my cooning rice has been in the fridge. I'm not gonna reheat it. Don't really think it's necessary because it's like super hot food, right? So again, we made some cooning rice. Kuning, not COON, okay? And it has turmeric and lemongrass. I think it's wonderful. My mom said it's bland. She also could not smell gas, so you know what I mean? It's just eye of beholder. And usually you would definitely eat corned beef with fucking rice. So that's definitely what we're gonna do right now. All right. So again, this is the cooning rice that we made the other day. Very cute. I think she's cute. And so we're gonna take. Actually, hold on. Let me mold this rice. It's not gonna be seen, but like the corned beef is gonna be on top, so let me go ahead and kind of mold it in a way where it's kind of gonna be I'm using the back of the spoon to kind of keep it all together. Keep some sort of rounded shape. So I just use the back of the spoon to do that. All right. Oh my god, you're so cute! Oh, that's a big ass. Okay. We didn't break up that piece well enough, apparently. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna sprinkle more black pepper on top. That's for me. And I'm gonna take a few pictures and then I'll show chat. I made the corned beef, Mom. Mom, do you know why the kettle has calcified whatever on it all the time? Yeah, it's because there's water in it. I might go to the grocery store tomorrow. Cabbage. Oh. Banana flour. Am I gonna realize what it is when I look at it?
Never heard of it.
You used to put banana flour in your...
Oh, flour. I thought you said flour.
Banana flour, Mom. You used to put that in soup.
You can buy that dried, I think. Fresh one, I don't know. Prepared. Are you going to do the fish tomorrow?
I mean, I wanted to do my pizza tomorrow, but if you want me to make the fish, then I guess I'm gonna make the fish tomorrow.
You can do it tomorrow night or Wednesday. He has another appointment at the dermatologist.
So tomorrow's Tuesday.
Tuesday, I have to bring it back to the lab because the technician called us, said the blood hemolyzes to draw some more.
So that means she has to fast again?
Yeah, because her veins are very small. It's hard to get the draw blood from her.
Was she fasting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so tomorrow you want me to cook the fish? Or, so tomorrow after dinner or for dinner? Or do you want to just go out to eat?
We have wood, but tomorrow we still have the chicken. You can cook it on Wednesday evening because Wednesday we have to go to the dermatologist at 10, so it will be lunchtime by the time. Frequency to be open, but
I'm sure the fire got taken care of because the building wasn't on fire. It must have just been the grill.
yeah.
I smelled it from Hallmark, Mom. And we kept walking towards the smell. I'm like, if people are coming out of a building all at once, it usually means we shouldn't go inside of the building. But there weren't flames coming out of the building. It's just you could smell the smoke when they opened the door. I smelled the smoke. I was like, okay, well, that explains the smell. But it still doesn't really explain why I smelled the gas from outside of the building.
Yeah, the gas was what?
Because I smelled it. Because it's the restaurants are like on the other side of the square. There's a coffee shop nearby, but like they're not, to the best of my knowledge, they're not really cooking like that. So I don't know their menu, but I'm pretty sure they don't have a stove. So unless they're doing coffee on the stove, which they could be, I don't know. So who knows what they're doing over there? So because I think that's where the coffee house that I want to go to that we still haven't gone to, because it's always busy. I think it's around the corner, but I mean, if they didn't say anything on the news, then I'm sure the building didn't burn down, so it should be fine. Yeah, the Filipino market had a fire when we went through, so like we were gonna just get something to go or whatever, and that didn't happen. So, you know, let me just check my photos because I think they're good, but like let's just double check. I'll just do one more for like good measure. Maybe I'll put you here. Okay, there we go. All right, time to eat. Sorry, that's the stove. Yeah, okay. We're gonna eat at the dining table. All right. It sounds like I don't have to drive them early in the morning tomorrow, but on Wednesday we do, so I'll probably have to like pack a book or something, or maybe we'll fuck around with Palea. Who knows? So, so let me move the food first, and then I'll move chat. Okay. Can't see you just yet. It's like almost burned my turon. Turon. I was talking about Tyrone the other day, and like I think the captions thought I was talking about a guy named Tyrone. I was like, we're not talking about that song. You ever heard that song? You better call Tyrone. Oof, yeah, that light's very bright. Okay, let me adjust the lighting real quick. Get the charger. We'll do a fit check later if you want to. You just tell me, chat, if you guys want a fit check. Oh my gosh. Oh my, thank you. Fuck. Okay. I think I'm gonna put you guys on the shorter tripod, especially since I really need to take that shorter tripod with me. Oh god. Sorry. With me later? God, I'm sweating. There was like magnetic, like all sorts of magnetic stuff at Costco today, and I was like, oh dude, I'm like kind of interested. But then there was also skincare, and I was like, we need to focus on skincare. So this phone is so heavy. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, please don't fall. What? I'm tangled. Ugh. God, dude. Okay. Almost can see you, chat. Then we need to put the food away later. Yeah, she wants me to make escabeche, which we, kind of looked over we kind of looked over it a little bit, not a lot of it. So we're doing that tomorrow. What we did today is in this one, and then the escabeche should be in my other pink file folder. Oh yeah, I can't see you. Shut up. Let me just make sure I can see you. Ugh. There we go. I can see you. Sorry, my nose is like really. Is that better? My hands are so dry. I keep on washing my hands. Okay. So again, it's on top of the kuning rice that we made the other day. Why are you so delicious? That means I did it right. Kind of salty. So I guess it's like naturally salty. This is delicious. Like, not that it wasn't delicious when my ex made it, but ugh. So the ex that usually makes this, he's Vietnamese, Filipino. And sometimes it feels like he feels more Vietnamese sometimes, and then but when it comes to food, he feels very Filipino. So and I think over the years he's been hanging out with more Filipinos. Not to say that he's like hanging out with less Vietnamese people, but he's like gained more Filipino friends. So I'm just interested. Because I think I learned about corned beef hash through him. Like my mom, we don't eat this. So there you go. Maybe I just need to move you closer or something. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out. I don't think this is enough for me. Oh, this is so good. Maybe we'll like, if we go to the Asian group, if we go to Seafood City again, maybe we'll get another can of corned beef. It's so good. Wow. You know? Also, if I had just started the dough 3 hours ago, I totally could have made the pizza. I didn't. So that's a my bad. We totally could have made or at least started, we could have been starting the pizza 30 minutes from now. If I just started at 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So no, but this is wonderful. This is great. I think there's just enough moisture. Or if I put this on a pizza, then maybe it wouldn't be a problem. You know? I don't know. But let me do a fit check. Let me get the shoes. Oh, you know what? Okay, so I'll get some more food. I'll get the shoes. And we can do a fit check. And you can like see the whole thing. I'll even should probably add a little bit of extra lighting or something. Oh wait, there's a light over here. Are you plugged in? Oh, you are. Yeah, it'll be backlighting, but whatever. I don't feel like moving this. This is Dad's light. Where's my bowl? And I'll get that turon so you guys can like learn about turon and how delicious. I'm pretty sure I've eaten one for you before. Well, there's that oil. There's that delicious oil. Like seeing all this delicious oil like keep out. Belch. I don't know if I got it. You get it? Belch. Belch. Thank you. Okay. Get my turon without hurting myself. I feel so much closer to the fan right now. Oh my god. I don't want to hurt myself. I don't. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, no. Okay. Here's our turon. We got a little bit more corned beef, and then I'm gonna show you the outfit today. We're gonna do a little fit check. So let me. This phone is so heavy. Here, you can stare at chat. You can stare at yourselves. Just want to make sure we don't show anything that we don't need to show. All right. We have backlighting, so. Oh, there we go. Do we like our little head thing? I like it. I don't know how. Okay, sorry. So I can see what we're saying. There we go. You can also see the Last Supper. There you go. Then our dress, and then we didn't wear these heels the whole time, but these are like my Cinderella shoes because they're see-through. We see the heel. And there, I gave you toes for like free. But yeah. That's the outfit today. Thought I'd be cute for y'all for like 30 minutes. But yeah, back to the food. back to food. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a selfie for the thumbnail. I'll do a selfie for the thumbnail later. All right. So this is turon. We'll eat it in a little bit. We just toasted it up a little bit in the convection oven that my mom mostly uses for toasting things, but I actually use it for as an oven. I'm so bad at this. Where are you? You're over there? There we go. I think that's good. Anyway, delicious. Delicious. There you go, chat. My elbow, the phone shadow is like in the way too. But yeah. It's so good. It looks like I'll definitely have to like take care of some oil later, but that's fine. Highly recommend. It's garlic, onion, potatoes, and corned beef and like some oil. Fantastic. So we're gonna have dinner and dessert together, chat. Nice. But I did not make the turon. We got that at a grocery store. Or at least I made the corned beef hash and the kuning rice, which you may have seen that stream, right? The miso soup that I ate earlier, I also made that. That's why the tofu is like cut weird. That's why my tofu's cut weird. So I feel like I want to eat more, but I also want to show you turon. I don't know if I should get a knife though. So to those who don't know, turon just looks like a fat ass egg roll. And it does. But it's a dessert, so there's no meat in turon. Can I touch you now? Okay, you're still a little hot. Now, I reheated it in the convection oven on the toaster setting, so we do have a little bit of burning because like there's like caramelized sugar that happens on the outside or whatever. Still a little hot. So I'm just gonna try to open this with a spoon. Crunchy. That's so good. Satisfaction. Okay. So here we go. Here's the inside. Usually like a mix of, well, the ones I usually have like plantain or plantain, depending on how you pronounce it. and jackfruit. So I'm gonna. Okay, you're still hot. You're hot for my teeth and hot for my hands. Problematic. Just. Okay. Lol. If you're wondering if that was armpit hair, that was. I don't shave my armpits. So, in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, I'm a little dark because of the backlighting. It's fine. Oh! This dress seems like super short because I have more ass than boobs. So, things don't fit the best on me. Oh my god. I damaged this cord. Okay, so lighting is kind of better. We have an awkward 3-point situation. Half of my face is a little dark though. Still, that's fine. Okay. Okay, this is good. So I'm touching food after I blew my nose. I'm touching my food. And before we package the corned beef for everyone, it's mostly for me. I'll wash my hands before we do that, okay? But if you're like blowing your nose, don't touch other people's food. That's gross. Please don't do that. It's nasty. Okay. I've never made turon. I've only really eaten it. I like the fat ones like this. Some people make like really skinny ones. Not my jam. And if we're wondering about the outfit, this was inherited. I paid for this with labor. These are earrings I got when I was in Korea for my birthday one year. Really cute. We got these off of Amazon. I know. This dress was thrifted. The shoes were thrifted. The shoes that I was wearing in the kitchen before I put these shoes on, thrifted. So I think this bra was thrifted too. At some point for Halloween, I decided I just want to be hot for Halloween. So I was like, I want to wear this outfit at some point. It's a pretty simple outfit. So, because I was like, I don't want to wear a crown. because usually when I'm on camera, you mostly see like torso up anyway, right? It's like, well, if I wear a crown, that'll work really well, right? And I do have like a couple of tiaras, but I honestly don't know where they are. So since I don't know where they are, I put them in like Hello Kitty lunch tins, or one of them is in a Hello Kitty lunch tin. One is more like a tiara. No, both of them are tiaras. One is the kind of tiara that has like the hair combs, and the other one is like one you straight up have to pin into your hair. The one you have to straight up pin into your hair was probably the one I had when I was like having my cotillion. So if you don't know what a cotillion is, you know how like some kids have like a sweet 16 and like some I grew up around mostly Mexican people, so like some Mexican people have like not a cotillion, a quince. They have their quinceañera. So like quince is 15. Some people have a sweet 16. Cotillions happen when you're 18. And like that's our thing. Like that's a Filipino thing. I think white people have cotillions too. It's modeled like they're similar. You have a court, you wear a white dress, blah blah blah. You know. And so I had a cotillion, and I had a tiara for that one or something. Maybe I wore that to one of my proms. I went to like 3 proms. 2 of them were in the same evening. I wasn't popular. It just happened that way. So one of them, he eventually went off to West Point, and like he took me to one of his like West Point. It's called the 100th Night. Took me to that, and like he was tagged in a photo because like Facebook, that's what you do, right? Or that's what I used to do. I don't tag people anymore, and I don't allow people to tag me anymore. Because I just think it's like a security issue now. And he was like asking me to untag because like his wife didn't like it or whatever, and I was like, what the fuck are you telling your wife? Like, why would anybody have issues with like a picture from like 10 plus years ago if you're married with kids? Like, I'm not your problem. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck exactly are you telling your wife where she's insecure about me? I've never met her. Like, you should be telling her something that's reassuring and not making me the problem. So, I don't know. But, oh, it's fine, fuck it, whatever. And then I think I eventually unfriended him on Facebook. His parents are cool. But it's not like I have, like, a real connection to his parents or, like, a way to, like, really, like, track them down now or something. But he's married. It would be weird if I, like, try to form a connection with his parents, like, when he's married with kids. But one went to West Point. One is living in Korea now. Him and his partner run, like, a language school and, like, foster dogs. I think they're doing, like, a dog shelter, too. Very interesting couple. And he cooks a lot. So sweet. My mom gave him, like, the 9th degree about everything. And I was like, my mom's really mean to nice people, but then she sucks up to not good people. She's not very good at character assessments. So, you know. So I always felt bad about that about him. I was like, because he was like a really good person. So like, why the fuck did you do that? Anyway, but I'm like sweaty again. I'm like sweating. You guys can't tell because apparently I don't look like I'm sweating when I'm sweating, but I'm sweating. There's like a fan on and everything. It's probably because there's like extra lighting or whatever, but still it's very hot. I wish there was an elegant way of eating. But yeah, I think today was really successful. Hopefully whenever I make that corned beef pizza, it'll be really good. I was like overlooking some of the dough recipes. Because I couldn't find the one I was using. So like maybe it's in a different folder, I guess. Because when I first made Detroit style pizza, I showed one of our friends who's a streamer and also one of the mods. Because I know he really loves pizza. He's also Italian. And then so I showed him, I told him about the pizza. And so he like searched it up and he's like, oh, Sicilian. And I was like, oh, okay. Okay, so that's what I should be looking for. So I started looking up Sicilian pizza and I found Sficcione pizza. It's probably not how you say it. And I was like, ooh, I really want to try this, like the way you're supposed to do it. And the way you're supposed to do it is with sardines. Now, my mom likes sardines. But I don't know if she'd eat it on a pizza. So, my mom always has like a fuck ton of cans of fucking sardines. We always have sardines. The sardines are mostly for them. I don't really fuck around with the sardines. I'm more of a Korean canned tuna kind of gal myself. There's this one brand I've been like really into recently. They have truffled tuna. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, I could just get a can of tuna and fucking douse it in fucking truffle oil. But I really like this brand not only because the tuna is delicious, but the design of the can. So the lid is like a plastic lid. So you like peel it off and you can also like see the inside of the tuna. But also, I guess partially because it's a plastic lid, the inner rim is not sharp. No sharp edges. Very nice. So part of it's, you know, it's fucking delicious, but B, the design, like it's not too stressful to open. Let's say I wasn't able to, like, let's say the pull tab for the plastic thing like got fucked or something. It's still plastic. I can just stab that motherfucker, right? But yeah, the inner edge, the inner rim, not sharp. It's so nice. It's so nice when I clean a can and I don't have to worry about hurting myself. Because I hurt myself pretty often. Like, where is it? Do y'all see this? Oh wait, how can I show you? Let's see, am I pointing at it? Do you see this? There's like a little kind of scar, I guess. There you go. I like scratched myself too hard. I scratched myself too hard and like I hurt myself on accident. So, you know, in the kitchen, I have a tendency to also accidentally hurt myself. So I gotta be careful. I scratch my face a lot, like around here. My nails are really sharp and I like scratch myself. I scratch behind my ear. I like when I scratch on my leg, sometimes I like scratch it and bleed, you know. I'm constantly running into cardboard boxes apparently. Like I bleed a lot on accident. So, what the fuck? Is that a receipt? I'll deal with that later. But I try my best not to hurt myself. I'm always like deathly afraid of hot ass oil. Because I've definitely been sniped by hot ass oil. Such a bad time. So, also, it's so funny. Nigel, he's like one of my IRL friends. I met him through his cousin. And I met his cousin because when I was in college, at some point, I thought I'd try to be an import model. So if that ages me, if anyone's of the era where import models were like a super hot thing, then you probably have a kind of guesstimate of an age range of where I fall as far as like how old I am. I thought, hey, maybe I'd try, right? And so there was like a branch of a team that was gonna open up, or they were trying to bring it over here to my city. They're like a team from Hawaii. So I was just like, whatever. And that's how I met him, because he was gonna be a DJ for the group. It didn't pick up or whatever, but like that's how I met him. And then later on, we found out that one of our uncles, like one of his uncles knows one of my uncles. And unlike other Filipino families here, like I don't have a bunch of my relatives here. I have like it was my dad and my uncle on my dad's side. You know, that's it. And then here. And then I have a paternal cousin in California. And then on mom's side, I have a maternal cousin in Georgia, like a place where I don't think Asian people live, but apparently they do. And or Georgia? Alabama? Somewhere southern. I'm also southern. But it's just like Asian people live there? Is that safe? So, you know, I just think like, is that safe? Like Louisiana, I don't, because like I always think of Cafe Du Monde, so I just think that Asian people live in Louisiana. But like for like Georgia and Alabama, those are not places I think. Well, Georgia now, because I know that there's like a Korean community there. Before that fucked up bullshit with that white lady who called ICE, like an actual community there. So, which if you don't know about that, there's like a Hyundai plant, and there were Korean people on visas to train the Americans to like learn skills so they could work at this fucking plant. And this white lady who's running for some sort of government office called ICE under the guise of like being concerned, and a bunch of Hyundai workers were sent to like detention in like really gross conditions. And I'm pretty sure Korea's mad about it, as they should be. And now I don't think that plant's gonna happen, and that plant would have brought like a bunch of jobs or whatever. Just racist white people being racist white people and like fucking up their own shit, you know? If they chose to just not be racist and like think of other human beings as full human beings, maybe they wouldn't have, whatever. Anyway. And again, it's not all white people suck. But there's a lot of white people that are like not talking about white supremacy and how it affects other people or them. Because if they're white and a woman, they're still being affected, right? White supremacy doesn't like women either. So it's usually the multi-marginalized white people that speak out a little bit more. But there's a lot of white people that don't say anything about anything. And it just feels like they're not doing anything in their personal lives because they are not behooved or moved to do something about it, because it doesn't affect them, because whites, if they're white, then it, they're like, whatever, I'm not a brown person, I'm not a black person, I'm not disabled, I'm not queer, like, this doesn't have anything to do with me, like, or they're like, well, I don't see how, like, what are you talking about? Like, they don't see the oppression that other people have. Like, they can't see their privilege. So if they can't see their privilege, they're not going to talk against it. So it's just, what are they doing? The white allies that we do have, what are they doing? Oh, speaking of which, elections pretty soon. November 4th. Early voting should still be going on right now. Yeah. Early voting until Halloween. And then the election is November 4th. So, I guess we can have this put this way, so. We did early voting the first day of early voting. Early enough to, late enough to avoid school traffic and canvassers, but early enough to, like, not deal with people getting off of work, We went around, like, 9 or 10 a.m. I think the polls opened at, like, 7. And, there was no line. We just... Check-in was pretty easy because we were still pretty early. And if you're in Texas and don't know, this is not explicitly on any of the websites. If you are in Texas, especially, I'm specifically speaking to you, you can take your paper practice ballot into the booth with you. It's like an open book test, because you're not going to remember everything. I know it was like 17 propositions, and like I didn't say no for all of them. Some of them I did say yes, begrudgingly so, because I just don't really feel like they're actually going to allot the money responsibly the way they say. My answer sheet here? Sorry, I want to get this and also not flash you. Also, Sylvester Turner his seat was supposed to be on our whatever, but it wasn't. So I'm going to assume that means we got redistricted. Because Sylvester Turner died and his seat needs to be filled. R.I.P., by the way. So I filled it out using like a PDF online bullshit, whatever the fuck. So I filled out the boxes by like just filling a black rectangle. So which was the one I want to talk about? Some of these, so most of the ones for Texas, they just sounded like they're trying to legalize ways to do tax evasion. So, number 2, constitutional amendment prohibiting the imposition of a tax on the realized or unrealized capital gains of an individual, family, estate, or trust. I said against for that one, even though that might affect me. But we'll see if it affects me. Anyway, because people, I mean, however people decide they want to. Where is the one about school? Death taxes. On the second page? Yeah, number 14 was about providing the establishment of a dementia prevention and research institute of Texas, establishing dementia prevention research, provide money for research, which is really interesting because let me tell you, Texas doesn't like science. There are a lot of anti-vax bitches here, okay? But also, supposedly, based on what I read on like different articles or whatever, Greg Abbott, who, if you don't know who Greg Abbott is, it's our governor. Greg Abbott is gonna like have the final say of like writing off on the research projects. I don't really trust him to do that because again, this state is very anti-vax. And he doesn't really do a lot as far as like helping the disabled community as a disabled man. Crazy. And you know, I don't trust because I have like in deep down inside, I feel like somehow oil and gas definitely contribute to that dementia, Alzheimer's, and stuff like that. And this state is addicted to oil and gas. And so it's just like, what if there is a connection? Deep down inside, I feel like there is. Because of like fumes and stuff like that. Like I know when I smell gas, like I feel gross, right? I feel nauseous, you know, all this stuff. So today we smelled gas like gas stove gas. From like outside the building, which still very confusing as to why I would smell like a gas stove gas from outside of a building. Like why? But I remember one time I smelled gas outside the house. We don't have a gas stove. I don't know if anyone else here has, but like I think the default for everybody in this neighborhood is everybody has an electric stove, right? Because these houses are older than me. And so I went outside one day and I guess I was getting the mail because like I don't go outside. I just don't. And so I went outside and I smelled gas and I was like, what the fuck? Because it was so strong. It was so strong. And I was like, my mom had gone out earlier that day and I was like, did you smell anything? She was like, what do you mean? I was like, you're fucking shitting me right now. Do you not fucking smell that? Like, it so strongly smells like gas. Like, what are you doing? You're telling me you didn't smell that? I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck? And so she called around, right? She definitely did not smell it. Like, I fucking smelled it. There was like a gas leak or something, like miles away from our house. And I was smelling it. So it's just like, I'm a good person to have around and like, if you need to sniff around for danger, apparently. I'm real good at sniffing out gas. But I was like, how did you not smell that? That's concerning. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do something about that nose. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you need to do something. Something about the parents. Residents. Was it 15? There, yeah, it's 15. So, 15, the constitutional amendment affirming that parents are the primary decision makers for the children. So, this is about like having say over what the kids can and cannot learn. We live in a state that is full of book bans and like people getting all like bent out of shape over history being taught correctly, i.e., pointing out that white people have done some really heinous ass shit to anyone who was not white. So this reads to me, we want to protect the failings of white racist people so their children doesn't have to learn about racism. That's how it reads to me. Also, some parents are abusers. Like, why would you give all the autonomy to the parent in certain situations? You know what I mean? Like, anyway. But yeah. 15 was really sus. I was like, no, thank you. That just sounds like you don't want kids to learn about enslavement. You want to do some PragerU bullshit. So, that's what it sounds like to me. Most of these other ones just sounded like they wanted to legalize or like structurally put into place tax evasion for various things, and I was like, nah, bitch. No. I'm a broke ass bitch, but if I made money, I think it would be okay for me to pay the taxes that are due. If I'm rich, I should pay more taxes. If I'm poor, I shouldn't have carry the brunt of carrying the taxes when there are rich people who like just shit money. That hemorrhage money, you know? Like that doesn't seem fair at all. But anyway, people want to be the colonizer or the oppressor to not be oppressed versus working towards getting rid of the problem of the oppression, but whatever. So, yeah. Just a lot of it just sounded like they're trying to legalize tax evasion. Just in various areas. One's like for like animal feed that you may or may not sell. Like they don't have to the proposition is so they don't have to pay taxes on that. I was like, no. I don't like that. So another one was like basically a proposition to not tax the rich people. I'm like, a proposition to not tax the rich people or like not tax the rich people their fair share or whatever the fuck. Where is it? There was one about denial of bail under certain circumstances, and I was like, I'm against that. I don't want to have any reason to denial. No. The whole bailout system thing is like already fucked up as it is. I don't want to denial bail. Because most just seeing how Texas is, I feel like they're just gonna abuse it. So temporary exemption. Oh, okay. Temporary exemption from tax on houses that are fucked up by fire. I voted in favor of that, but it just feels like that's a very specific instance, and it feels like people are gonna try to abuse that. You know what I mean? Like I voted for that even though I didn't feel good about it. Like, yeah, I feel like they should have a tax exemption, but yeah, it also feels like people are gonna try to do some fucked up shit just to avoid taxes. You know? There was nothing about floods. I mean, there's gonna be a flood, like money set aside for floods, but they should have done that in 2019. That was supposed to happen in 2019. There's supposed to be like $800 million set aside for like flood mitigations, but obviously that didn't happen because all those people in Kerrville died. So part of that was on Kerrville, it sounded like. But I'm sure things were not communicated to them in a way where they understood or whatever. I don't know. I read some of the articles on like the Kerrville situation, and I think they had some misconceptions about Biden. So, not that I'm like pro, like super big on, you know, I voted the way I voted, but ugh. There's still a genocide, you know. 2316. I'm like wondering if we should raid from the room, or I know Mother Gamer should be on. This is her like time slot. So I always talk about Mother Gamer. Honestly, she's like one of my favorite streamers because she's Filipina. You know, she talks about politics, right? While she streams, she plays really cozy ass games and she talks about politics. You know, she's not like a politics streamer like, you know, Hassan or like the Majority Report, you know, but like just like I'm talking to you about how shit affects me, she does that too, right? So, I'm very big on masking because of COVID. Not autistic masking. I think that sucks that people have to do that. Okay. But like wearing a mask because of COVID because whoa, what are we doing? Kitchen. Kitchen. Sorry, I must have said the wrong thing. Yikes. You know, I'm very big on masking because you know, in 2020, I decided it would be too dangerous for my household if I kept working the way I was working because I worked as a server. I worked in bars and restaurants and pubs. You know, I was very front facing customer service and I served a lot of really, you know, entitled white people. Like, I don't know how else to describe them. Like, I served a lot of entitled white people who I knew would have a problem with me wearing a mask, a visibly Asian person wearing a mask, when they would probably feel like nothing's wrong. Like I already knew that was gonna happen, right? Or that people would get like really upset about it because like they're not used to being told what to do, first of all. That's like a big part of it, right? Even if it's a request, because they don't see community care as like something that's good to do for everyone. They see it as like a burden on their lifestyle, right? And I feel like disabled people, immunocompromised people, and chronically ill people, not only by like the marketing of how like COVID is and how it affects people, but just like in general, people feel like accommodating the needs and wants of the disabled, chronically ill, and immunocompromised community is like a pain in their ass. And it's just like at some point, all of us are gonna age, or something's gonna happen, or like, you know, we're gonna have like really bad genetic RNG, something's gonna happen, and we're gonna end up fucked up in some sort of way that is, you know, not in line with what people consider normal, right? Like something's gonna happen, and so we might need assistance in some sort of way, not as like a savior thing, but just like we might need ramps to make, you know, getting in and out of buildings easier. We might need, you know, not just like mobility aids, but we might need, you know, different forms of online accessibility because maybe our hearing is not as good, or our vision isn't as good as it used to be. You know what I mean? Which is part of the reason why I try to be as accessible as possible. And if any disabled people want to be like, bitch, you're not doing enough, how about you do this? That's okay. You can totally backseat. That's more than welcome. Like, I would love to hear what I should do to make my stream more accessible. That is why we have open captions, even though they are not the most accurate. That is why we have these open captions, and that they're pretty big in size, if I should say so myself. And I do them the way I do them. That way, if I clip, I have the portion for the text and then the portion of whatever the fuck is going on the screen. And that's why I have it that way. So when I do the stacked clip, there's still context, right? Because if I don't do that, then I'll have to manually add. This is just easier if I do it this way. If anyone was ever wondering why my captions fucking look like that. Everything is very intentional on my stream, even though it might not look like it. Anyway, so very big on masking. Very big on masking. You know, when I left my job, or jobs, it was like a week or so afterwards, I heard that some guy working down the street, because like the area where I work, there's a lot of bars and stuff. Some dude down the street got like hit upside the head with a bottle, and he was like bleeding out because he asked a customer to wear a mask, and like the customer got mad. Fucking got assaulted with a glass bottle. You know what I mean? And that's part of the whole like entitled white people thing. Like, I'm talking to you about my experience with white people as a server. It's just a lot of entitled white people that are not used to having to think about somebody besides themselves, that don't like waiting in line. You know what I mean? Can't be bothered to like do something for the benefit of somebody else if there's like no monetary gain for themselves. Like that kind of shit. You know? Very not community care and things like that. So, you know, after I heard about what happened, I was like even more like, I was more happy with my decision to leave, because even though maybe somebody would have thought twice before attacking a woman, I figured like, if you're gonna get fucking mad about wearing a 3-ply piece of paper on your face when there's a fucking pandemic and people could die if you just like breathe in their direction, I don't need to be in an environment like that. Like I don't make enough money to pay for a funeral. I don't make enough money to have an extended stay in a hospital. I don't have insurance. Like, I don't have money for this shit, you know? And so I was like, as a server, I already knew like most people don't give a shit about their server as a human being outside of getting their food hot when they want it in a reasonable amount of time. Like, I already knew that. You know what I mean? I already knew that. Or if they're like trying to get that pussy, you know what I mean? Like, outside of that, they don't give a fuck, right? They don't think about you as a whole human being. And even if they're trying to just get that pussy, obviously they're not thinking about you as a whole human being anyway. They're just trying to get their dick in. So, it's just like, I'm so glad I left, you know? But like these past 5 years, it's been really hard because like, you know, my dad died in 2021 because of the fucking stupid ass freeze, which, if you're not from Texas, our power grid is not weatherized. But they're thinking about weatherizing it now because of AI data centers. Not because we could potentially die and have because the weather's been too hot or too cold, but because of AI data centers. They're thinking about strengthening the power grid so they can power the AI data centers better. I heard that on NPR today, and I was like, that is the most fucked up shit I've heard in the past 2 days. So, anyway, but yeah, I fucking hate AI. I think people are way too dependent on it. And it's just like, why can't we be more grateful for what we've been equipped with? You know? But yeah, no. Especially like, you know, part of cognitive decline is like people not using their brains. Like not being curious about the world, not learning more things, just like vegging out watching mindless TV and not thinking about stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's part of cognitive decline when you don't like you lose it, you lose it. You don't use it, you lose it, something like that. You know what I mean? Like my dad had some stuff going on before he died. But he like the neurons were shooting off. You know what I mean? Like sometimes his brain didn't work the way he wanted to. Like sometimes he thought his body was doing something when it wasn't. You know? Like he really thought he was standing up when he wasn't. Or sometimes he would stand by himself and I didn't know what was going on, but I had to like hurry and get him back to the bed just in case like he fell or something. And I was like, because at that point he was very he needed assistance to get up, to transfer in and out of bed, into the chair, out of the chair, into a car, out of a car. You know what I mean? So like there was one time I was streaming from my bed just talking to chat, and my dad was like, look, and I was like, and I was freaking out because mom was at a sleep study, and I was like, okay, we need to get you back into bed, Dad. Like, that's great. That's fantastic. Love it, you know, but you need to go back to bed because mom's not here, you know, like just in case. And so, because my mom had like a catheter in him just in case he needed to like pee or something. But yeah, my dad was still thinking. He was still thinking and he was still curious. You know, he knew how to use Netflix. And so he always watched like World War II stuff, which was kind of concerning. Because honestly, he was watching kind of some dark stuff. But like, you know, his brain was working, right? He was always thinking. And like he would still know his way around, like if I made a wrong turn or something. He was like, you know, he was still always thinking. So, you know, with this whole dependency on AI and this general lack of curiosity within the younger generations, it's just like there's gonna be a lot more kids, especially with COVID plus this cognitive decline is just going to be really bad for the following generations. You know what I mean? They're just going to be dependent on like computers thinking for them. For either the sake of like not wanting to think or thinking they can't think or just wanting the answer faster because they can't be bothered. You know? And I feel like all of that is also adding to the whole like dementia and Alzheimer's and things like that. Because I live with old people and my mom is somewhat learning more things, but she's not curious enough to like figure out shit on her phone. Like you and we probably use our phone to like look up everything. anytime we have a question, we look online, right? Not necessarily to AI, but we look online somewhere, right? And if we don't get the answer that we thought we were looking to confirm, or maybe the source seemed kind of weird, we keep on looking until we find a source that seems reputable or like unbiased or honest or not leaning towards like imperialism or something. And you know, and like kind of go from there, right? But we use our phones all the time. My mom doesn't do that. She just looks up shit on like the royal family, and I keep on telling her, those bitches don't give a fuck about you. You know, they like laughed at indigenous people and stuff like they don't give five, like, why are you so obsessed with these white people? So she, you know, she doesn't give a fuck. So okay, let's throw away our trash. Put the stuff that we need to put in the fridge in the fridge. Maybe we'll do some dishes. I'm gonna take these cords out for now. Hopefully we can keep a charge for a little bit. Probably gonna take these shoes off just because they're a little slippery and like they're not fitting around the ankle that well anymore. We don't have as many dishes to wash this time because we did wash quite a few of them. There we go. But yeah, let me take off my Cinderella slippers. Yeah, the problem with like plasticky shoes is that, you know, sometimes around the ankle, like it stops fitting tightly, you know? So all right, so let's hope the battery doesn't, you know, run out. But yeah, we could have been 30 minutes into the pizza, but I'm kind of glad we didn't because like my head hurts a little bit. It's not because of the decoration on my head, but like, yeah, my head hurts a little bit. Also, these panties are giving me a wedgie. Just like, bruh. But yeah, just, you know, just things, thoughts, you know. The end of this, or it was a little hard to eat the end, probably because I like, the toaster said it was probably not good for this. That for a little bit. But yeah, let me wash my hands, like, blew my nose, touched a bunch of stuff. Okay, let me dry my hands. Hopefully we will be out of the kitchen by midnight, but we will see. Okay, so we're just gonna dry stuff up, put stuff away. Hopefully the corned beef is nice and cooled off by now. Or cool enough, you know. Cool enough. Yeah, nice. And then we can put it away. So delicious. I'm so happy. Now I know how to make it. Now I know how to make it. And I can make it whenever I want. Pretty happy about that. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I forgot. I was talking about Mother Gamer. Yeah. So Mother Gamer, again, Filipina, talks about politics in a similar way that I do. But maybe doesn't talk around in circles like I have a tendency to talk in circles. But I eventually get to the point. It just takes a while. So about COVID, her husband almost died from COVID. There was an unsanitary coworker who did not sanitize a machine that her husband was going to use, and was like, "Oh, I was saving that for you," because he was asking like, "Did you sanitize the machine?" He was like, "I was just saving that for you," acting like hygiene and sanitation are like gendered or something. And it's not the first time he got her husband sick, but this time he almost died. So, like, this time it was COVID, and this time he almost died. Like, he was in a coma for a little bit. Like, she was really stressed out. Like, I didn't bother her for a while because she was obviously stressed the fuck out. And so, like, when I can, I definitely give money in that direction because, like, her husband almost fucking died, and then, like, he did physical therapy and stuff, but he came early because they're like, you're taking too long with physical therapy, blah, 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 the HR department, and, just, so we went back to work, not, really at where he would feel like at his complete best. And like he worked for, I don't know, a little bit, and then they fired him. But they kept the asshole that got him sick. They kept the motherfucker that came and got him sick. And it's wild because, like, as far as like performance goes, her husband is like really good at his job. So like they kept the mediocre piece of shit and let go of her husband. Like, why? I feel okay, there it is. Just and they've been having landlord issues too, like where the fuck is the landlord? They had a couple next door, or they're like in a duplex. I don't really understand how duplexes work. But like multiple people in one house. And like their heater wasn't working, and like a state person for like heaters or whatever came by and was like checking out the units. He was like, "Oh, this is like not up to whatever," and essentially what the landlord was doing was like not legal as far as like standards for the heater or something. And so but they haven't been able to like get hold of him for like over a month, and blah blah blah. I think some like new people moved in recently. Just like, so like on top of the whole bullshit with the place he used to work, there's like this thing with the scummy sounding landlord who like just cannot be contacted. And winter's coming, and if heaters are not working because they're like in the northern part of the United States, like that's, as somebody who knows, that's gonna be really fucking dangerous, for the couple that has the heater issue right now. And so it's just like I need a book. It's just like there's just so much bullshit. It's it's so annoying. And so like, you know, before things really got whatever with her husband's company, like the first company where he like almost fucking died, you know, anytime I saw something about like disability rights and like employment, or, you know, anytime like I found a creator that was talking about that shit, like I sent her the information, because there are a couple of like disability rights, not that many lawyer type people on TikTok and Instagram, you know, like lawyers that happen to have a TikTok account, you know. And just like there's like dermatologists that happen to have a TikTok account and stuff like that. And so every time, because I know she was looking into it, but like just in case, you know, just in case it's like somehow new information or like different information, because again, probably things differ also by state, right? So because she lives, you know, she's northern, I'm southern. There's probably some differences. Like their state might actually like disabled people a little bit more than my state. My state hates everyone, but like if you're like marginalized, it's a particularly bad time. So especially if you're queer, you know. Like I think her dad was like, "Hey, why don't you move here?" Like some relative was like, "Hey, why don't you move?" And she's like, I'm pan? Okay, I'm not gonna be safe there, man. You know. So I don't think, pretty sure her dad might not be completely aware of how not great the state would be for queer people. So, you know, she's biracial. Yay! All the corned beef. Also, most of the fond came out. No, we just have a little bit. Probably gonna have to wipe this down though, because oil. Lots of delicious fucking oil. So, to not clog up the sink or whatever, we wipe up the oil. I've seen Lemon put oil in her compost collection situation, but I don't know how Mom's gonna feel about that, so I still have to discuss that with her. But maybe, because I mean, if we don't save the oil, I think it would be nice to put in the compost. I think that's a pretty good way to dispose of it. So I haven't looked into it either, but Lemon's the type of person that like is curious about the world and like learns shit. So I feel like she's probably looked into it, you know. But I will also look at some point. I will look. I got this dirty again. You're gonna get washed Finished again. That's fine. Damn, I got a big old lube. Yeah, I was gonna play Blue Protocol yesterday, but then I was like, I'm like really not exactly in the mood or whatever. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing in that game yet. So there's also that. And then I was thinking, like, you know, so I opened up Godot for a little bit longer than usual this time. And I was following along with the tutorial up until I download the assets. So we need to actually do the stuff that happens after adding the assets. I was thinking for sit-down streams that would be really good. But, you know, I do a lot of cooking. And that's a lot of not sitting down. So I was thinking, like, I really want to do stuff in Godot. You know, I'm very impressed at, like, what Taijiro does. But since I do, like, a lot of cooking, I just feel like maybe that wouldn't be good for my situation. And then the other day, I saw a VTuber who was cooking. And I was like, what an interesting situation this is. So, like, her body was her VTuber, but her hands were her hands. It looked like she blue screened because she had blue sleeves. Well, I don't know. I guess she wasn't blue screening if I could see her sleeves under the gloves. So I just don't know how she was doing that. But so it was like her hands and like her kitchen surface, you know? And I was like, oh, I'm really thinking about this. I took a screen cap or two just to like kind of think about things. But yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Because I was like, okay, but I see her sleeve. So if it was blue screened, I wouldn't see the blue sleeve. So that's not what happened here. But I see her hands, and so like so is like her body green screen? Like, is she wearing a setai suit that's green? But then why would she have blue sleeves underneath those gloves? So, I don't know. I've been like kind of bothered every time I try to think about it. I'm like, how is she doing that? I was like, I don't think I would mind that. Like, that seems really interesting, you know? Oof. Okay. Whoops. Alright. Okay. Let me wash my hands real quick. I'm gonna say goodnight to my dad's shrine altar thing real quick with y'all over here. I should brush my teeth, but we're probably not gonna. Okay. No, my hands are still not dry. Also, Dia de los Muertos is coming up. It is not the same thing as Halloween. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna take you, and we need to take you. Oh wait, we're gonna put you on here. There we go. And this one we need to move back to where it needs to go. Okay. Oh, I can show you my art that I've collected. Sorry, the lighting here is bad. So this is from Batsky Starman. And then this is red bean porridge art. I couldn't find like a nice frame that fit, so you know. Let's go. That's my dad's shrine behind us. Oh yeah, Mom doesn't really particularly care for this fan. And then we need to turn this light off too, and we need to move Dad's light here so Dad can have some light in case he wants to come back and visit. And lighting change. Okay, my room is messy, so that's why you're gonna have to look at me. If I was wearing something different, maybe I would stick around and like try playing something, but I just don't really feel like it. We might sing a little bit next time. But not necessarily today. Again, I'm a slob. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so my other magnetic stuff kind of broke. So is it this side? There we go. Okay. Too much of my room. But yeah, wait, how can I? Screen pick. Wait, do we need to focus? Yeah, we needed to focus. Yeah, it's cute. You're seeing too much of my room. You're seeing too much of my room. Okay. Anyway, the outfit was cute. The outfit was cute. Very Romeo and Juliet from fucking the Twice video. Okay, let me just make sure I'm sure she's on. I just want to check. Okay. My room is hot too. We might do... We might do some co-working again tomorrow because I need to download... Oh! I need to download it. There's somebody like who unalived themselves on the game. I need to download and compress more VODs. So I think that might be something we'll do. I guess, I don't know, sometime tomorrow and sometime Wednesday, since my mom talked about like needing to fucking do lab work again with my aunt tomorrow because of some bullshit, and then another doctor's appointment on Wednesday. Oh, the dermatologist on Wednesday. So, you know. But yeah, I appreciate everyone who is here, everyone who is lurking. If for some reason I didn't see your message today, I'm really, 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 really fucking sorry. Sometimes it happens in the kitchen because I'm not monitoring audio. Also, don't rub your eyes. It's bad for you. Sorry. Just don't do it. You know, there's still, honestly, there's more than one genocide happening right now, but we are, as Americans, are like deeply, deeply implicated in one in particular. And it didn't start October 7th. I would argue it started in 1917, but maybe people would argue it happened before that, because before that agreement, they were probably cooking up some bullshit, right? So, yeah, there's more than one genocide going on. You can email your reps about literally anything within the character limit. And, don't rub your eyes, it's bad for you. Wear a sunblock, drink water, email your reps, eat something. Eating something is always going to be better than you stressing out over macros? The nutrient value and density of whatever it is you're trying to eat, right? Like, if you live in a food desert and you don't have fresh fruit, you know, like, eating something is better than you just not eating because you don't have the thing that you want to eat near to you, you know? Just eating something is always going to be better than eating nothing. But, you know. Anyway. We're gonna raid Mother Gamer. She is playing Ghosts of Yote. So if you like Erika Ishii, like I do, it's gonna be a good time. We love Erika Ishii here. So raid Mother Gamer. So again, it is Filipino American History Month. She is Filipino. If you can donate to her Ko-Fi, great. If you can't, that's fine too. You know, social currency is currency, right? There's a lot of Filipino American streamers out there, but you know, there's probably Filipino American people in your immediate community that may or may not need help with something, right? Like, maybe there's some fucked up shit going on with like overseas workers in your area. I'm looking at California. So, you know what I mean? Like, or New York. Like, we live every day off of these screens. Like, you see me on stream, but there are Filipino people near you somewhere that, you know, maybe they need help with something. You know, maybe there's an old lady down the street who needs a ride to the library or to the doctor or to Costco. You know, just, we can all make an impact every day. There's something we can do every day to help people in our community. You know, it doesn't have to be grandiose. But anyway, I'll see you. Bye. Bye-bye. Thanks. Thank you.